This is recording 873. The name of this podcast is Listen Next 873. You can find me at my website, ChristinaStation918.com, or speakingtothecia.com. Okay, so let me continue. So I'm going to report crimes this week that I know that Gene Roberts and her Manson occult / KKK have committed. Again, it's the world's stupidest, slowest car chase. They're on in my brain every second of the day, every day, snotting out, acting like they're getting away with everything, committing the crime, running the racket, blaming everything on everybody else. It's old. I'm asking you to please arrest Gene Roberts and her Manson occult / KKK. Okay, so Evanston hospital bomb. So here's what I decoded out of that. So Evanstone. So notice how she used how Eve is in there and also Steve is in there. So that's why she picked that. And then also note Cook County. And then also note it's 12 miles north of Chicago. So remember, she iced me. She controlled all my addresses all of my life. She used ice on my family. She stalked the ever-living heck out of all of us. And so, sorry, she's controlling my speech. So anyway, I lived in North Chicago in 1985 through 1987. So anyway, so that's no coincidence, 12 miles north there. Okay, and then EVACOR is in that. So she's saying evacuate, which is probably what they did. She's also using the Red Badge of Courage again, which was a book that I read in high school on a class assignment. And I think it was about, like, I don't remember what it was. It was about a kid at war. I think it was like, I don't know, maybe it was a Revolutionary War. I can't remember. But anyway, she's making a reference to that. And then also she's saying FBI with the VAC vacuum. And then she's also saying coroner stone. Not cornerstone, but she's saying coroner stone. And inside that, you can see how she's using the alphabet to spell. So the A, B, C, D, E, F. So she's doing that theme again. Okay, so note the D and the F. In this one, the D goes to David Koresh. David Koresh is in this. And so is Waco. And then Endeavor is in this. And Endeavor is, Gene is also signaturing her work as Charles Manson. Journey. And Endeavor is a journey, and then she's Gene Jernigan Roberts. She's probably saying journey, and then she's probably saying gurney. And then gurney goes to Eve up here. I mean, this is freaking insane. You are just freaking insane. And this is probably old ciphers that she's used already, that she's reusing again. Because none of this is coincidence. And she didn't just spontaneously just come up with this. These are ciphers that she used a long time ago. And she's reusing them. So, anyway, Endeavor goes to NASA. So then Houston, NASA's in Houston. So then you're looking at Waco to Houston, okay? So if you put Waco with Houston, the word comes out, watch. And then that goes to the wires protruding. And then also Newswire AP. So that's how you know she committed that crime. Canada shot fired outside U.S. consulate in Canada for a second time this year. Okay, this one, you know that Gene Roberts committed this crime. She keeps trying to pass it off like it wasn't her. But this is all her and her occult's doing. She tries very hard to make it look like it's everybody else. But it all leads right back up to her. This is her and her Manson occult doing this. And when it comes to politicians and CEOs, executives, world leaders, who always wants to be front and center? Gene Roberts and her Manson occult. I mean, they are insane. So, you know this was her. So, a white sedan was seen fleeing the scene about 5 a.m. local time. So, the 5 I know you already know, but the white sedan. So, I don't know what happened first. The car chase, and then this crime, or this crime and then the car chase, but they're both the one in LA, but they're both linked together. And she's referring to the white sedan as Capezio's. I called her Capezio. Duran, she loves to use old 80s pop stuff. And I called her Capezio, and then she tried to pass it off on everybody else. So anyway, she's making a yuppie reference is what she's doing she's using the Capezios, but she's using a yuppie reference. So then she's also using the Miami Vice theme again. So she's still upset that I make fun of her with the Miami Vice theme song. She's posing as a cop. She's from Milton, Florida. I'm going to tear the heck out of you until you're arrested. You're guilty. You've been committing these crimes. I don't care how many people you lie to or you pay to lie for you. You're going to go to jail, Gene. Anyway, so Jan Hammer sings that. And then, so what she's saying there is pedal to the metal, which would be the white sedan fleeing the scene. The next crime is United States release of aluminum phosphide in MV Thorco Leva, Port Arthur, Texas. Okay, so this one, she's making a reference to aluminum, and then she's using TN, which I don't think is the correct chemistry symbol for aluminum, but then again, maybe it is. I get it confused. So what she's using with the TN is she's using Tennessee, and she's making a reference to Arrested Development, Mr. Wendell, and then she's making a reference to Miami Base. Okay, so she's using Rockford Fosgate, and then what she's saying is Fuzzgate. And then she's using Rockford Files with James Garner. You have to see all code, see all ciphers, see all code, Rockford Files. It goes all the way back into my childhood. So, anyway, and then James Garner, and then the JG, also JAG, as in military court. And then also, Globe Miami is in it, Miami, Florida is in it, and then Miami, and then Will Smith, and then Jazzy Jeff, which would go again to the Rockford Files, James Garner, and then AP is in it. The next one is Greece, body found after explosion, fire at vinegar factory near Corinth. So she's making a reference to Corinth, Texas. That's in North Dallas. And then she's using vinegar. She's making a reference to Vine, and she's making a reference to Welch Avenue, which is downtown Dallas, off of it's right next to Valley View. And then she's making a reference to the Welch's Vineyard when you're first going into Buffalo, New York. So she's making a reference to Buffalo, New York. So I know she committed this crime too. United States Transformer explodes, sets multiple cars ablaze in Hackensack. So, obviously, you know she uses New Jersey, the NJ, as JN Gene. And then she's making a hacky sack reference. You know what hacky sacks are. And then the wildfire connection connects to the Transformers, the fan, and then Transformers. Like, you know how when I talk in the fan, or I used to talk in the fan? And I just did that recently, being silly. I used to talk in the fan to my kids when they were little, and I would sing the Transformers song, and I would do Star Wars impersonations. So she's making a reference there with the fan, and then she's saying Transformers, so she blew a transformer, so she's making a reference to fan is what she's doing. And then fanning the flames, so she's throwing a fit is what she's doing. And she's saying she wants to be able to freely commit crime, blame everybody else, racket it. She wants to be able to stalk me, spread lies for money, and commit more crime and commit more terrorism. And I am not to tell on her. I'm to let her run wild with her terrorist ass and her nasty occult. And she's throwing a fit, and this is her twistaroo, twist around comeback, and she's throwing a fit over it. No, Jean, you need to be arrested. I'm going to keep turning you in. So, Fan Flames is in it, then Flamingo is in it, which would go up here again to the crime that was the one in Canada with the Miami Vice theme. Okay, so anyway, so also there is, so Flamingo in Florida, so also there is a Mingo Road in Tulsa. She's making a Tulsa reference, and also she's making a reference to the World Trade Center attack. Okay, she used the Bangles, the group the Bangles, their music as a theme in planning to do the World Trade Center attack. Okay, she used Manic Monday, and she probably used Walk Like an Egyptian too, with what I figured out. But she used Manic Monday. And as I recall, 9/11 happened on a Tuesday. But anyway, she's always like one off. And then also the M's from Manic Monday. They both, Manic starts with M, and then Crazy Mad, and then Monday starts with M. So anyway, she used Manic Monday as a part of her future, one of the songs she used in planning to commit the World Trade Center attack. So, what these people, this is Jean's, one of Jean's snot divisions that committed this crime. So, what they're doing is they're arguing and standing up for Jean, lying for her, saying that my decoding her crimes for 10 years is she's trying, they're disputing it. By doing what? By spreading more lies and committing more crime. I mean, how stupid is this going to get? When everything I have, I've turned her in, I've pressed charges, I've been fact-checked for the past 5 years. Which is why you guys hide and use stolen artificial intelligence and you try to trick people into not making reports against you. And you lie to people because you're criminals and you're liars. Where I'm like, let me go press a charge. You're not going to be stalking me, Jean. You committed terrorism. You're running trafficking rings. You're running all kinds of rings. You need to go to jail. So anyway, so the Bengals, she's probably using Bengals and then Bengal and then Great Lakes Naval Base, which you probably already have decoded. Somebody's talking through me third person right now. That's another stunt of theirs. And they talk through me third person. That means they're going to try to steal what I'm saying and flip it around and then go lie to more people. Great Lakes Naval Base, it decodes out to Bengal. Okay, so anyway, the Bengals sang a song that was like one of my favorite songs of all time. It's still one of my favorite songs of all time, called Eternal Flame. Okay, and it came out when I was in high school. And it reminds me of my family, my boys, which is totally mushy. Sorry. Anyway, so in New York, when I moved to New York in Buffalo, there was a place out, and it's like, I keep thinking Seneca. I'd have to go look it up again. It's in the woods, Maybe it's Seneca something, I can't remember, but there's something called eternal flame there, and there is a gas flame that's been lit forever there. It never goes out. It's a natural gas light. So that's also called eternal flame, and that's in Buffalo, New York. And then also in Woodstock, New York, when I went to Woodstock, I went to Candlestock, and there's a big gigantic candle there that's been lit since 1969 and has never gone out. It's probably still lit. So again, Gene Roberts committed this crime. So United States, 1 dead after a small plane crashes near Chandler Airport in Arizona, fire officials say. So this was off of Steve McQueen Road, off of McQueen Road. She's obviously making a reference to Steve McQueen. And then she's making, and this was Tuesday night, so again, she's making a reference to 9/11. And then Piper Cherokee, the initials PC, peace, see all code peace. And then the N is a Z, okay? So the Z flips, so then it's 269062J, okay? Then that becomes 188. Then that becomes 1888, which you probably would want to look up the year because she's probably committed crimes around the year 1888. And you probably unearth more of her World Dominion terror plot that spans back to the beginning of time. So anyway, that equals 916, and then that equals 7. And if you study these numbers, you're going to see that Gene Roberts is definitely a Satanist. And she's saying 2 different things here. She's bragging about being a Satanist. She's saying 2 different things here. So like she's talking out of both sides of her mouth, but she thinks that nobody knows or nobody has my podcast, and she's just going to continue getting away with like picking stuff from crimes that she committed and flipping it around and running rackets. And she gives different speeches to different people. Okay, so in one side of this, she's claiming that she's Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthi, ISIS. Okay, and this is a real big thing with the H's, and I know Hamas, Houthi, Hezbollah know that because they were on with me when I was decoding the H's a couple years ago, and they're like they're ladder rungs, and they didn't even know this. They're like, oh my God. They literally did not know this. So anyway, and then they were like looking for it everywhere. Like it's everywhere. So they know that they know that there is still an artificial intelligence out there. They know that Gene is using ice on people. They're not idiots. They know. And trying to get Gene to stop saying that she's any one of those groups is insanity. Here in the United States, she constantly claims she is them, and she constantly claims she has permission to say she's them. And no, she doesn't. So anyway, so you can see the Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthi, and ISIS up there. So she's saying that she's them, and she's trying to like act like she's them, and then she's like passing the blame to them. Okay, but she's also saying that she is not them in this, okay? And she's saying that it is them that is committing these crimes, and then she's saying it's not the KKK. Like, she's arguing. Gene Roberts is, and she's being sarcastic, Gene Roberts, you are in the Ku Klux Klan. I decoded it. You joined the Ku Klux Klan in the 60s. There are so many people that know you are in the Ku Klux Klan. The only dispute there is whether you are the actual leader or you ice the leader and pose as the leader. Because she's a female, okay? So if you go look up who the current leader of the Ku Klux Klan is, it's a man. All right? So is he a front man and it's really Gene? Or is she icing that guy? But she's towards the top, or she is the leader of the Ku Klux Klan nationwide. And Ku Klux Klan funds Charles Manson. She is also the leader of Charles Manson. So she's being sarcastic. She doesn't want people to know that she's Ku Klux Klan. Well, it's too late for that, Gene. Everybody knows you're Ku Klux Klan. You might as well give up on any lies, because everybody has been demanding everywhere, tell me what is going on. Don't lie to me. Tell me what's going on. Everybody knows you are a terrorist, Gene Roberts. Everybody knows you are paying people to lie for you. Everybody knows you are trying to put blame everywhere else. Everybody knows that you're Ku Klux Klan. Everybody knows that you're the leader of Charles Manson. And everybody knows that no matter what I say, which is decode, I don't just fraudulently charge you. I decode it, and I prove you're guilty, and I press charges against you. And I am fact-checked. But no matter what I do, she will come back with some ridiculous, trite, stupid response. And people tell me that listen into my brain are like, ignore her. We know she's stalking you. We know she will not leave you alone. We know that all she does is lie for money. And she tries to silence you. And then she turns around and tries to be you. Okay, they know that she does that to me. But the best that I can is just ignore her and make a podcast and turn her in where 8 billion people can hear, where it counts. Gene Roberts needs to be arrested. So anyway, she's saying, so she's being sarcastic there. So she's going, it's not the KKK. And she's like using self-deprecation to smack herself. She's being sarcastic. Okay, so it is her committing these crimes. And then also you're going to want to look in here and you're going to want to see also more BS of Gene's. Okay, and also this was at Chandler Municipal. I think the plane took off from Chandler Municipal Airport. And then seeing Chandler Municipal Airport, I see something else in here. So Chandler Christina, Municipal Michael, Airport Anthony. So I was born in Chandler. Municipal means city. My younger son lives in Oklahoma City. And airport is Anthony. So everybody knows here in Tulsa, there are druids. Everybody calls them druids. There are druids that live underground here. I know it sounds crazy, but everybody calls them druids. People are fascinated with them. And they know they're somewhere near an airport, or there's evidence of them near one of the smaller airports in Tulsa underground. So anyway, people are fascinated with that. So the airport and then Anthony. So they're associating Anthony with airport because everybody's fascinated with and then also Anthony a long time ago when he wanted to be a flight controller, and I was like, you should be a flight controller, you would make a ton of money. But associating Anthony with druids. So, because everybody's fascinated with them. So anyway, that whole thing right there is no coincidence. That just proves that Gene Roberts has been stalking me and my family all of our lives since before I was born. So that is the end of this podcast.